Jack Black returns to the big screen in what can only be deemed a really big adventure. Hello everyone, welcome back to RealScreenReviews.com. I'm movie critic Nick Yacobucci, and our next movie review is the latest reinvention of the classic story Gulliver's Travels. This family-friendly comedy opened a nationwide release on Christmas Day, December 25th, 2010, and it stars the aforementioned Jack Black in the title role, and joining him in this adventure are Jason Segel, Emily Blunt, Amanda Peet, and Chris O'Dowd. Gulliver's Travels comes to us from director Rob Letterman, the director of 2008 animated hit Monsters vs. Aliens, and Shark Tale a few years before that with Will Smith. This time out, he leaves behind the animation in favor of 3D special effects and teams up with one of today's funniest comics in order to breathe new life and fun into a timeless classic. Now our story begins telling us the tale of Louis Mill Gulliver, a small-time clerk in the mailroom of a big New York City newspaper. He is a fun and likable nerd and/or geek that pretty much does not have any direction to his life, and that's okay because it isn't going anywhere anyway. Gulliver is told that he's not getting any bigger and that he's only one of the little people because he is being surpassed on the corporate ladder by youngsters with just one day experience. He is also razzed by his co-workers for not having the courage to ask out the very attractive office employee Darcy Silverman, portrayed by the usually likable Amanda Peet. Darcy is the person responsible for passing out the travel assignments, and in order to impress her, Gulliver plagiarizes pieces of writing and submits them as his own. With this out-and-out lie and bluff, he finds his way onto an assignment writing about the hidden secrets of the Bermuda Triangle, and in order to accomplish this feat, he rents a boat and throws caution to the wind, setting sail for the mystical location himself. Gulliver does his best to captain the boat until he encounters the upside-down tidal wave that destroys his vessel and transports him to the world of Lilliput. After he awakens in this new land, he immediately finds himself captured by the difficult General Edward and taken to the king and queen. As the classic story states, Gulliver is a huge giant compared to the people of Lilliput, and there are a few misunderstandings and mishaps that are easily gotten over before Gulliver soon finds himself not only friends with the people of the land, but also as their defender. He also becomes close with Jason Segel's Horatio, who is vying for the affections of the princess in a competition with movie villain General Edward. Now, before too long, Gulliver must prove to everyone, as well as to himself, how big of a person he can be on the inside, and bring peace to Lilliput and direction to his life. Well, people, this film was supposed to be released in the summer, but the studio held it up for 6 months to successfully convert it over to a 3D feature, and I would say that helped this film immensely. This is not a great film, but undoubtedly it was enhanced by the addition of 3 dimensions. I would probably go so far as to say that they exercised some creative liberties with Jonathan Swift's original story when they added the Transformer at the end of the film, and that this family-friendly feature will most likely strike a chord with younger children than it ever will with the parents that are an accompaniment and also paying the bill. Gulliver's Travels looked very cool in many places, and the special effects used with the height difference was also very eye-catching. However, it is the anorexic storyline that kills this project almost from the get-go. It seemed to me that big things happen in the story with just one sentence, and then those problems all seem to come to a resolution in the very next sentence. There is no depth to the tale that's being told, and how can so many futuristic contraptions appear in a land that by all accounts is about 200 years behind us? Now, the film does have a very credible comedic villain, and Gulliver's live stage productions about the experiences of his life are truly very funny. His life is played out in scenes from Star Wars, Titanic, and he claims to be the president of the land of awesomeness. However, on a whole, this film just had spotted laughs here and there and falls short many, many times throughout. This isn't completely horrible, but let's just say that this has to be one of the most convenient scripts ever written. Another issue with Gulliver's Travels is that this has been remade so many times it almost just doesn't even feel original anymore. It's the age-old story of learning how to be a bigger person on the inside than on the outside, but having seen it done in the early 80s, the 90s, and even a TV miniseries with Ted Danson, there are hardly any surprises around the corner. Then the character of Gulliver is turned into this fun-loving, free-spirited persona, but once again, how many times has Jack Black played this role? School of Rock, Orange County, and High Fidelity are all variations of the character that he brings to life in this feature, and when you combine that with the all-too-familiar story, the last thing that I would call it would be fresh. At 1 hour and 25 minutes, Gulliver's Travels isn't long to begin with, and it still needed to add 2 music videos to even make it that long. Once again, this is a film that the kids will probably enjoy, that is until they get old enough to realize just how dumb it actually is. Seeing as it's Christmas Day, I'll give my Christmas present of a very generous 2 stars out of 4 to Gulliver's Travels. And remember, people, I'm not always right, only when it comes to the movies. And thank you for your attention.